together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy, what do we call it, Saturday. Probably doesn't look any different to you, but I changed light bulbs. Oh, man. Should just relax today, right? It's one of those days where I woke up and I kind of want to, isn't that I want to fight so much as I want to shut down bullshit, but it's not my job. And now they're going after the legislation. But I don't know that I want to get involved in legislation. I think that would just frustrate me more. I think I would rather just go ahead and do what it is that needs to be done. And whatever works out, man. I mean, I'm going to go make my coffee warmer than this, like a lot warmer, because it's cold as fuck. All right, got me some coffee. What's going on? Saturday morning is usually my busiest time. It's closer to the trash that way. You guys ever do stuff like that? Yeah, probably not. I'll pick it up on the way. I ain't gonna let it sit there, but I do that all the time. One day I might be able to bank it off the wall and get it into the trash, but I'm just not that talented. Basketball wasn't my thing. It was not my thing. Very good at blocking. I was pretty good at blocking. I could jump really high. Used to be. Welcome, Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Why is it not doing that? What's wrong there? There we go. Welcome, Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello. Please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, I'm going to give it another minute. I think everybody's just kind of moving. Man. You know, everybody's got opinions on something nowadays. Saying, all right. I believe we're going to be at page 84 of the big book today. Yep, 84. Etifo. 8-4. You foe? You a foe? You fool. Try to say fool, but it ain't working. Ain't working. Let's get this thing over to chat. Just in case somebody shows up. Now, 84. It's the promises. But we're going to go. Of course, we're going to go back a little bit. Or maybe we'll end up going forward from it. Yeah, let's go forward from it instead of going back to it. If that makes sense. I told everybody. All right. Maybe I'm just not talk about anything anybody wants to hear about. Oh, all right. Spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness will make a skeptic out of anyone. Yeah. If you think that, especially nowadays, there's a whole don't listen to the people from the past kind of thing going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it'll make life a lot harder for people. I know that. Like people, the excuses, times have changed. Not really. Times have not really changed. I'm sorry. Morning, Clara Joyce. Good to see you. Um, I I even heard a therapist kind of say this earlier that times have changed. We got to do things. Yes, times change, but not in the sense that we think it does. Just because we have the internet, just because we have cars that drive on their own, just because we have these different things that make our life more convenient, does not mean that as a human race we have gotten smarter or understand anything more about alcoholism. There wasn't there wasn't more to discover. There just wasn't. And this part can be opinion, but that's the difference between my experience is fact, and it did happen. And you know if I can save people from the last 10, 15 years a little help from this disease, I'm going to do what I can. Now if they make a decision to not listen and go ahead and do what it is that they want to do because times have changed, you may not make it back. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the best that I can to plant the seed. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try not to piss them off and plant the seed. Okay? But nobody really listens to anything. They go off action, especially kids. Especially kids. All right. So, you can't get sober and a few months later expect your kids and your family to start doing what they're not the ones that got the DUI. They're not the ones that ended it. Maybe yet. Okay. It's quite often that I go to my kids and I will say, you remember when dad used to do this and it wasn't right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, you're kind of doing it. Oh, okay. See, not all of my examples are good. Some of them were very bad and should not be repeated. Absolutely. All right. There may be some wrongs we can never fully right. Okay. That's not on you. It's not really on you. Okay. What you have to be is willing to do anything to set it right. Okay. We're kind of in the ninth step right now. So we don't worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could, right? Yeah, although their defects may be glaring. That's right, Clara. It isn't for me. It isn't for me, right? I'll give an example. My kids are going through something hard right now. My daughter, my stepdaughter lost her dad. And so yesterday I went and collected and did all their dishes just to help out, right? And I don't expect a thank you, and they didn't thank me, but it doesn't change anything. That doesn't change it. But I went up there, the sink's full again. I'm just like, that hurt more than not getting a thank you. And I remember Dion, they're going through tough shit. See how our minds can get selfish so quick. So quick. Now, that'd be an example to not do, to get upset by that. You know, it probably was I probably missed a bunch of dishes. Because if I remember correctly, there weren't enough dishes. There were a lot of things missing. So I guess I did not grab everything, did I? Hmm. Maybe Dion didn't complete his job. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter, and there may be some valid reason for postponement in some cases, but we do not delay if it can be avoided. We should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being servile or scraping. As God's people, we stand on our own 2 feet. We don't crawl before anyone. And when you don't need to do, you know, the point here is to stand ready to do what we need. Am I really trying to earn their forgiveness? The question is this: do I need their forgiveness? Do I really need their forgiveness to become a better person? Do I really need somebody else's forgiveness so that I can do what it is that I need to do and be a better person? The answer is no, but I will stand ready to bring it to justice. Yes, I will. Okay. My older brother, he flat out said he didn't want ninth step. He didn't want it. I tried a different way by doing that living amends. He don't want it. Right. And when I'm around my brothers and sisters, it just feels fake. And I can't do that. I can't do. I will not be servile or scraping. No. As God's child, I stand on my own 2 feet with my courage because of the things that I have walked through with other people that support me. Right. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't take hundreds of people to love and like you to get support. No, my support system is pretty small. It's pretty small. So, all right, let's get into the promises. If we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we are halfway through. People say it's halfway through the 9th step. Some people say it's halfway through the steps. The people that say it's halfway through the steps did the steps correctly because the 9th step doesn't end. I'm just thinking logically here. For me, in my experience, so let's put it this way. For my experience, we'll make it fluffy. This happened halfway through. A lot of it happened halfway through. Some of it happened after the 9th step. So, anyway, we're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Pink cloud. Right? There's a lot of the steps aim towards freedom. Not fighting anymore is a freedom. Relieving yourself of the baggage and the rocks and stuff that you've been carrying around is a freedom. Right? But no freedom and new happiness. Well, a new happiness is kind of the pink cloud, right? Happens once. Can't experience something new twice. That's been my experience anyway. Unless, of course, you have dementia. Then it can happen. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That is so 4 and 5, right? We can't. I know I don't regret my past anymore. Do I have some regrets? Still kind of, yeah. Even though I brought them into light, even though I've done everything that I can, but it doesn't control me anymore. Okay. It isn't the type of regret where I wouldn't be willing to bring it up if it meant I was going to save one of God's children. It's not that kind of regret. I will not live with those. No. Right. And I don't shut the door on it. Right. Forgive, but I don't forget. Why do I not forget? Because my forgetter works really well, and I'll go back to the same bullshit if I'm not careful, right? We'll comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. Yeah. matching. That's a great way to put it. Armed with knowing my defects. I would even just say armed with my defects. Okay, goes a little bit. But yeah, that's a great way to put it. Where'd you steal that line from? Because that's a great line. That's a great line. About time, Amber. It's good to see you, Amber. Good morning. All right. And so we will understand the word serenity. It didn't say we're going to know serenity yet, but we will know peace. What is peace? Everything is okay right now. That's peace to me. All right. And serenity and peace tend to go together. Absolutely. Having peace of mind. Well, the only way you're going to get peace of mind is by getting through that fourth and fifth step, or I will continue to be tortured by my defects. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. I'm going to tell you something, and this is not a challenge. The further you've gone down, the more you can help others. The more mental illnesses that you have, the more you can help others. The harder life has been, and the more you can help others. Now, that is not a challenge to go out and make your life harder. Okay? Because just because mine looks hard, Now, what does that include? That includes getting sober at a younger age. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It doesn't seem like it, but the fuck it does. Because that gives hope to younger people that the age doesn't matter, that you can come in at 18, 19, 20, 25, 30, and you can find your own bottom. Absolutely. Okay, so I think it includes that. We cannot determine ratios of bottomness. Because there's one thing we all lost: ourselves. It's the one thing, right? So that feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. It's true. It's been a while since I have felt useless at the level that I used to feel useless. If you think I don't have doubts and things like that, I had doubts this morning, right? But that's part of my brain process of, sure, I doubt, but then it's like, yeah, but look at all the things that I've gone through. I'm still here. I'm still here. Yeah. Good morning, Gary. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Selfishness changes. I'm still very selfish. I'm just selfish for the right things now. Yeah. What's my selfishness? I will not stop until everybody in my community has a shot at recovery the way that they want. It's selfish. I started the grassroots meeting. That was selfish. I did it so I could have my own home group of my friends. It keeps to be, people keep adding on and stuff. It's a good selfish. Absolutely it is. You think people think I do the daily trudge for other people? That's an added bonus. It is a dividend. I do it for me. I take care of me first. Absolutely. I got it. Now, do I want to reach as many people as I can while doing that? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. But I also have the thing where I go through the day, and if I haven't helped in the way that I feel that I can help, then I will go live 3-4 times. But I'm doing that to get rid of that feeling in my gut that it hasn't happened yet today. So, because I'm thinking of others. Self-seeking will slip away. I think this is the big one for most people. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. Do you worry about your bills? That's okay. That's not financial insecurity. That's not economic insecurity. It's okay to worry about your bills. Okay. It's okay to do what you can to take care of them. It's when it's your only focus. When it's your only focus, that would be insecurity. We don't want to become penny pinchers or misers, okay, or go to those extremes with money. But fear of people, wow, big one. I still have a fear of people in the sense of large groups of people is kind of tough for me still. Okay. But as of people themselves, no, not really. It also depends on the situation. No. But I don't have the fear of it like I used to, right? We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. I call this the Karate Kid of AA, right? Well, I'm learning because we're the last people to know that we have changed. Okay. And you're yeah, that's more of what it is, Claire Joyce, is a sensory overload. I'm getting I'm getting better at cutting off my empathy while in big crowds. Right. But yeah, it is overloading for me. And it has to do with my empathy. Right. And what happens is we actually get kind of excited about some problems that come along because now we know how to take care of them. That's a big deal, man. We didn't know how to do. I'd have to blow it out of proportion, make a mountain out of it. I'd have to do all these different things. But now I know how to right size my problem. Now I've gotten some sleep and I haven't made my problems as bigger than they need to be. I find out that a bunch of my problems didn't even exist. I made them up. I created them out of thin air. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves, which is the obsession of alcohol and a lot of other things. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but they will always materialize if we work for them. Okay? There's something to be said for God's time and the perfection of God's time and when things should happen and why they should happen. There's a lot of things that I do, even in the industry. I don't know why, but I do know that it has to happen. You know, I don't know why I'm an alcoholic. The closest that I can get is because I can help when nobody else can. And that's is it really does it really answer the question of why and that? Not really, but it's at least a good enough answer for me to move on. Right? This thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. Right? Here's the key to the 10th step: not copying any more resentments. We can't live with resentments. That's why we got rid of them. I'm not going to say that sometimes resentments don't come up. Maybe we don't catch them right away. Maybe they go on for a little bit, but it's not going to be, it doesn't need to go to the level that it did before. Right. There are a lot of people in the program that like to go in for annual house cleanings. I've heard some of the people that have been in the program for a little bit kind of saying, I don't know that I really did a complete 4-step, but I need to go back and do that. If that's what they need to do, then that's what they need to do. Go for it, because it's certainly not going to hurt. It's certainly not going to hurt. And maybe it took them that long to get rigorously honest, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Maybe it took 15 years before they realized, oh shit, I didn't do half my 4-step. I better go back and do that. Okay. There are a lot of us who did a very fearless and thorough 4-step, and we don't need to do another 4-step because we take on the 10th step very, very seriously. Okay. None of these ways are wrong. They're just experiences. They're somebody's path. So, but my experience was I did my 4th and my 5th step, and I haven't had to do a 4-step since. I 10-step that shit. Like, I 10-step here all the time. Why? Because I make a lot of mistakes. We vigorously commenced this way of life, this way of living, as we cleaned up the past. We have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. And this is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. Okay. So, and before I get to that, okay. So, this is kind of a way to look at it is, am I an expert in this field? I'm talking about me. Yes, I am. If you were to go by a clinical sense, if you were to go by the amount of time and things like that, yes, I am very much an expert in this field. Now, let's take this from a different approach. Let's take it from an AA approach. Am I an expert in this field? No, because there's still more to learn. It's got to continue for a lifetime. But this is what they tell you to watch for. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, doesn't say if. It doesn't say if these crop up. It says when, because it's going to happen. I don't care who you are. It's going to happen. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. All right? God, save me from being angry. Who do you need me to help? That's what I did this morning. I did. Somebody sent me something yesterday at the end of the day. There's more people doing bullshit. And I woke up this morning. It was on my mind, of course. Last night I made the decision, let them have it. Let them have it. What the fuck am I going to do about it? Blah, blah. Who cares? Right? Look, I have a lackadaisical. That didn't work. I woke up this morning kind of thinking about it. But I'm like, God, I don't want, that's not, no. So what do I need to do today to help your children? Let's go do that instead. And that was the thought process on it. Yeah. I didn't turn to other things. No. I went and did this. All right. Then I'm going to go to a noon meeting. Then I got sponsee. Then I got the 3 o'clock meeting. Then I got the 5 o'clock meeting. Busy day. Busy day. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. Got insanity doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You stop doing that. Now you are getting a different result because you're doing something different. But see, sanity is not very far from insanity in the sense of a explanation. Because don't we do the same thing over and over again, getting the same result now? But it's a good result. Reliance upon a higher power. We do it all the time. Just another way to think about it. But in this case, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get intrusive thoughts. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be human. It means that you're not reacting the way that you used to. That's what matters. It means you get to use your brain again. It goes back to, you will know the word, you will understand the word serenity and know peace. It goes along with that because there is a freedom in not fighting. In fact, the word freedom fighters is an oxymoron. Fighting for what freedom? Freedom from what? Your tyranny too? From your ideals? No. We will seldom be interested in liquor. It doesn't say that you're never going to think of alcohol again. Oh, that looks good. But it's supplanted by something bigger. Oh, it looks good, but I don't, no, thank you. Nah. I don't need to be mad. I don't need to be indifferent. I don't need to be anything. I just don't want it. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally. I don't know how you can recoil from a hot flame and react sanely and normally, but okay. And we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. That just happens, man. One day you'll turn around and be like, man, I haven't thought about drinking in God, how long now? That is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, nor are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Okay. And the way to stay in fit spiritual condition is doing step 10 by not copying any more resentments. All right. One of the most important things AA has given me, in addition to freedom from booze, is the ability to take action, to take right action. It says the promises will always materialize if I work for them. Fantasizing about them, debating them, preaching about them, and faking them just won't work. I'll remain miserable, rationalizing drunk. By taking action and working the 12 steps in all my affairs, I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. All right, that's going to be it for this one. I'm sure I'll be back later. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.